Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm playing in the M60. This is a tier 10 American reward medium tank, and I have to be honest, it's a vehicle which has never really caught my fancy in World of Tanks. And for a lot of you that might be quite surprising, because you'll know that my most played tank of all time inside the game is the M48A5 pattern. That is because it's just such a well-rounded vehicle, and when Wargaming buffed the turret armor of the M48A5 pattern, yeah, it took a vehicle that I already enjoyed because of its holistic gameplay and just amplified it up. The M48A5 pattern, a lot like the M60, significantly benefited from Equipment 2.0, and that was because they're both vehicles that have 420 meters base view range, and so you can sacrifice some of the view range to pump it up either with the field modifications or alternatively just have more useful modules on the vehicles. For the M48A5, that for me personally is a turbo. The M60 however has the luxury of a 60 km/h top speed limit and a healthy power to weight. Even though the vehicle weighs the same as the M48A5 pattern, it just packs pretty much about 100 extra horsepower, going up to 950 horsepower on this superior American engine. And so that means that the M60 and the M48 are both kind of worth a second visit. And I've been playing the M60 a little bit more recently and kind of enjoying how I've been performing in this vehicle. I've still got a long way to go with regards to learning specifically how to play a vehicle that doesn't have the best armor, although now with Wargaming buffing up the M60's turret armor, it's the same as the M48A5 pattern, just has the issue of having a big old turret weak point on top. And unfortunately there, I don't think I actually had a crew member with intuition. I was unable to switch that shell out quickly to use another one of the M60's advantages. And that is its staggering high explosive anti-tank pen of 350. The M60 was originally a Clan Wars reward vehicle along with the 121B, and both of those vehicles, I guess because they were meant for kind of Clan Wars players, and they are probably more inclined to be firing gold rounds than other players inside the game. Well, I don't think that's really a stretch to say that. Obviously the more dedicated players have more credits, and as gold rounds are available for credits, therefore they're going to have more of them to fire. What you really need to know is that the 350 on the M60 allows you to be able to cake through so many different plates that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. So in this kind of a situation, I don't really feel like I can hold against an AMX-50B. I can't hold against an STB-1 and a CS-63 who are venturing forwards. And I saw that there was a platoon on our team of two Object 268 of different flavors, one of version 4 and one of version 5, and also a Panzer 7 on our team who were trying to hold the corner and fall back. We're playing on fjords. This is definitely a map which favors the eastern spawn. If they're able to take the dip, the north, then they get a fantastic crossfire which allows them to plow through the north. However, we've actually managed to fall back with enough vehicles that I think it might be a bit of a challenge for the enemies to go through the north. And we can see that frustrated tanks in the dip now want to try and push through the center without respecting that I'm in a rather dastardly position here. This one has been becoming more and more popular in World of Tanks. We saw the other day in one of my videos, the game that broke me, I think, a week ago, that there was an STRV-1030 on my team who decided to go into this position right from the beginning of the game, didn't really do anything until the final shot. So let's go watch that video if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a fantastic position to fall back into, and that's one of the M60's strengths, is that it is fast enough to be able to fall back into a position like this while also still contesting the early part of the game. What you don't want to do is just start in a position like this, because if you do, then all of your friends will die for no purposes. If you're able to support them, while hopefully still doing some damage, or maybe if the enemies don't invest into the northern flank, you can even try and win it, but after you've done that, there's no sense in getting caught out by an autoloader like the AMX-50B, and falling back and working with this platoon on our team seems to be working a treat. Unfortunately, it looks like the Object 268 version 4 on our team falls to the 50B's magazine. I'm going to tell the Rinoceronte to fall back, and then I'm going to try and come up with a plan with the team. You're going to see me in chat say, go all the way, we need north. And this is one of those classic counterattacks in World of Tanks. And when you're able to go at 60 kilometers an hour, the M60 has that grunt in the engine and the speed to be able to outflank its opponents. One of the reasons why I haven't really enjoyed the M60 up until now is because up until they buffed the turret armor of the vehicle, the huge weak point on top still kind of negates that advantage, but it is there. It's a possibility. Did I just penetrate a high explosive round? Must have been for 513, finishing off the Grilla. But one of the main reasons why I didn't enjoy this vehicle is it was kind of in between an M48 and a Leopard. And I feel that the M48 just is a more fun flavor to play. And then if I want to snipe, why wouldn't I want to play the Leopard? Nevertheless, feeling like I want to experience some different things in World of Tanks, I am now trying the M60, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Alright, talking about liking what I'm seeing, in this situation, I decided that we were never going to be able to hold the northwest of this map unless I went to finish off the RT. But while I'm going and making my way over towards there, why don't we take a look to see how the Object 268 version 5 on our team, who's played by Harukian, was performing. So now we're going to join Harukian, who very kindly has shared their replay with me, and they're in a situation where not one but two FE4005s are making their way around a corner. Luckily, we've dealt with the Grilla there with a high roll of the HE shell, and talking about HE, looks like Harukian is going to make good use of intuition here. The Object 268 version 5 has those wonderful 1100 alpha damage high explosive shells that you get on your full-blooded tier 10 TDs. And when you combine 1100 alpha damage with the high explosive rounds, with good luck as well, we can see that Harukian managed to just roll for 1198 against the first tier 10 British tank destroyer, and then follows it up, not quite with high enough roll to be able to finish off another tank, but another 1101 damage dealt there. This tank is absolutely staggering with high explosive rounds. Alright, so while Harukian was dealing with the FE4005s, I was making my way over back towards the artillery. We're going to hopefully dig out the GWE-100 as quickly as possible. I know he's reloading at least for maybe the next 20 seconds, and oh, juicy shots into the lower plate there. Hopefully going to be able to pick up another one before he manages to get his gun back on target, or maybe he's just trying to go for a swim. Well, Lifeguard QuickyBaby prevents that. Now it's about trying to find the Object 261, while the 113 deals with the 60 TP, and in this situation I was just hoping that Harukian was going to be able to hold out against the E100 and the FE4005. And putting that final shot into the Object 261, I'm going to now decide that I want to apply some pressure to the cap circle, because it looks like Harukian is actually holding very well indeed. So why don't we rejoin him? So now we're going to join Harukian once again, and the E100 has come into the cap circle, and Harukian is going to make good use of the bushes here. They're very thick, and no, they're not spotted. Their sixth sense hasn't gone off. And in this situation, it just looks like the E100's bad camo means that they get spotted through the bush, but Harukian doesn't, because as you can see, they didn't actually move any closer towards the bush. If they wanted to right now, they could reverse just a little bit to be able to see through, as you can see, maybe a little bit more to find the E100, and they seem to be multiplying. Apparently the enemy team attack in pairs. Harukian, hopefully he'll use the, wow, doesn't use intuition there to switch out to a heat round, just goes with the AP round through the E100, finishes them off, but unfortunately it looks like the enemies were a little bit too close. Managed to spot Harukian, the sixth sense goes off. Now Harukian's going to go for a shot to the turret of the FE405 as they come around the corner, and oh dear, isn't looking like it's very good news against the E100. Harukian kind of panics in this situation, I guess, just wanting to be able to get one more shot in before they die, but luckily the E100 on the enemy team actually ends up fluffing the shot against Harukian in the corner. And so that means that Harukian is now able to get behind this rock, and then maybe, just maybe, the high explosive anti-tank round here with 395mm of pen is going to give Harukian another 71 base defense points against this E100. Harukian is completely dominating the cap circle here, making great use of the bushes, and using a position that Wargaming obviously intended to maybe protect the south and also to protect this cap circle, to really stick it to the enemy. The E100 decides to try and fire blind there, but all that does is it just gives Harukian another opportunity to come around the corner. But surely he's got to be worried about possibly the FE405 coming from above. Luckily, Harukian doesn't seem to be sweating it about that, and the FE405 is still in the cap circle, as we can see, because there are two people capping. So that gives Harukian enough time to be able to come around once again and put a pinpoint shot into the E100. If that one had missed, the game would have been done. Now meaning that A situation where we were vastly outnumbered has now been changed into a situation where it is a 2 versus 2. And Harukian comes around the corner with 80 defense points, once again secured with a clean shot into the FV405. While this was going on, I'm about to start a one-on-one fight with a 60 TP. So now rejoin me taking the cap circle. I am halfway there to being able to cap the enemy. And right now I was asking my Twitch chat feverishly, how many hit points did the 60 TP have? Was it 2,600? And here he appears. In this situation, you've got to just take the fight to the heavy tank. I'm never going to win a trading fight, so I'm going to go and do what I believe is my only chance, and that is old school World of Tanks tactics. He overturns his turret, I go backwards, I try and bait the shell, manage to track him once again, and oh, this is where you want to have that engine power. This is where you want to be able to just keep locking down tracks. And the reason why I was asking how many hit points the 60 TP had, because if he's only got 2,600, that means he's not using a durability device. And that means that I have a chance, if he doesn't have an exceptional crew, or maybe if he has misplayed with taking a couple of the incorrect field mods, if he has any of the field mods, to keep locking down this player's tracks. And oh, this is just delicious. Absolutely delicious gameplay right here. Having a 60 TP on full hit points who managed to get you with a high explosive anti-tank round, put you down to a one-shot, and oh, have a little bit of a wiggle in celebration as we finish them off. And just like that, that was a feels-good moment for a tank that I usually don't play. I usually brush aside. But recently have been enjoying a little bit more, and I can't wait to get the rest of the field mods on the M60 to see exactly what I'm going to be able to achieve with the tank. So after the game, I reached out to Harukian to tell them what a round they had, although I think I made a mistake, and I think I actually sent a message to your platoon mate instead. Either way, thank you so much to Harukian for uploading the replay and sharing it with me so I could be able to show exactly what was going on from that kind of double perspective gameplay. You held the base like an absolute boss, got a defender medal for over 100 base defense points and a high caliber as well for 7,364 damage. And from my perspective, I get a Pascucci's medal for destroying 2 of the enemy artillery and a top gun for securing 6 kills, although Harukian did do a significant amount more damage than me. And as I wasn't spamming gold left, right and center, we do manage to make a slight profit in that game, although that was before we resupplied premium consumables. And so once again, Harukian and all of your platoon mates, thank you so much for clubbing together to hard carry this game. And thanks for creating the spark that definitely makes me want to take a second look at the M60. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video and especially the double perspective of it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, however, give it a thumbs down. And if you're watching the video as it's released on Sunday, it's going to be time for the World of Tanks Tech Tree Showcase live later on today on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. And this week, most of you have voted for the E50M. And so, if you want to see the Ram God of World of Tanks and all of the German medium tanks leading up to it, then come along right now on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby and I will show you a thing or two about well-armored sniping German mediums. So, really looking forward to seeing you all live right now. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic and hopefully I'll see you soon.